Good day, children. I'm Patricia Dominic, your social studies teacher. It's your class 7th lesson, new lesson, Oceans and Seas. And we are going to read about waves, tides, and currents. Children, now look at this picture. It's a picture of the globe, and here you can see the most of the part of the earth is covered with water. It is all about 70% of the earth's surface is covered with water. Ocean cover nearly 3/4 of the earth. Oceans are a vast, deep expanse of salt water. Oceans are home to a variety of discovered and undiscovered species of plants and animals. Here in this picture of globe, you can see most of the part is covered with water, and there are continents are shown in different colors, and these are the different oceans. Now children, we are going to know about different oceans in the world. Here you can see North Pacific, Indian, Atlantic, then South Pacific, Antarctica and Arctic. Let's know about these oceans. Indian Ocean. Here are the two pictures of Indian Oceans, and here you can see Indian Ocean on the globe where it is located. Indian Ocean is the third largest of the world's oceanic divisions, covering 19.8% of the water on Earth's surface. It is bounded by Asia here to the north, Africa to the west, and Australia to the east. Here to the south, it is bounded by the Southern Ocean of Antarctica. Here you can see Antarctica. Now the Pacific Ocean. On the globe you can see how big it is. The Pacific Ocean is the largest and the deepest of Earth's divisions. It extends from the Arctic, here, Arctic Circle, Arctic Ocean in the north to the Southern Ocean, and is bounded by continent of Asia and Australia in the west, and the Americas here, Asia and Australia in the west, and the Americas here, the North America and the South America. Americas in the east. So you can see how much area it is covering, and it expands to all the 4 continents, and from the north to the west, to the southern part. This is Atlantic Ocean. Two pictures are taken from Atlantic Ocean, and here Atlantic Ocean in the northern hemisphere, it's called the North Atlantic Ocean, and in the southern hemisphere it is called South Atlantic Ocean. Atlantic Ocean is the second largest of the world's oceans. The first one is the Pacific, the second one is Atlantic, and the third one is Indian Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean is the second largest of the world's oceans. It covers approximately 20% of Earth's surface, and it separates the old world to the new world. Let's see the Arctic Ocean. This is the topmost part of the globe, the North Pole. This is Arctic Ocean. The Arctic Ocean is the smallest and the shallowest of the world's 5 major oceans. It is also known as the coldest of all the oceans. The International Hydrographic Organization recognizes it as an ocean, although some oceanographers call it the Arctic Mediterranean Sea. The southern part is called the Antarctica. Let's see the Antarctica. Here, this picture is taken from the Hubble photograph from the space it is taken, this picture. And here, this is the Antarctica in the South Pole. Southern Ocean is also known as the Antarctic Ocean or the Austral Ocean. In the southern portion of the Pacific, Atlantic and Indian Oceans and their tributary seas surrounding Antarctica. You can see here, this is also the parts of different oceans. This is Pacific, this one is Atlantic, and this part is Indian Ocean. And their tributary seas are surrounding this Antarctic Ocean or Antarctica. Children, you must have had an experience while you go to picnic at the seaside. You have experienced that the sea water is salty. Why the sea water is salty? For every 1,000 parts of water in the seas and the oceans, in the sea, there are about 35 parts of salt. The water in the rivers contains tiny amount of salt, which deposited in the sea. When the river water flows into the sea, it takes salt from the land area and it deposited in the sea. And when the water evaporates in the air, it leaves the salt in the sea. That's how the salt in the sea is increasing day by day. When the sea water evaporates, salt is left behind. Over billions of years, the amount of salt has increased and the sea has become as salty as it is today. Scientists say if all the water in all the sea dried up, the layer of salt left behind on the ocean floor would be about 56 meters thick. You can imagine how much salt is there in the sea. Now, what are seas? Children, seas are where the oceans meet the land area. The water in the ocean and sea, when it meets the land area, the part of an ocean that meets land is called sea. Okay? So, the ocean, when it is meeting the land area, that part is called sea. There are different seas which are surrounded or near the shores or the land areas. Let's see some facts about the seas. Our country lies on the coast of the Arabian Sea. You know that there is a seaport near Karachi and we are near the Arabian Sea. Arabian Sea is the part of Indian Ocean. Seas are generally warmer and shallower than the oceans. Oceans are much deeper than the sea. Seas are shallower. Then, inland seas are almost completely surrounded by land. The Mediterranean Sea is an inland sea. You can see here this Mediterranean Sea, it is surrounded by the land areas. Different land areas are surrounded the Mediterranean Sea. The land around the sea is called the coastal area as well. So, our Karachi is also a coastal area. Water in the ocean and seas is not still. It moves in waves, tides and currents. You must have seen on the seaside. When you go, you can see that how the waves are developing and touching the shore or the land area, and then it is going back. A wave is the rising and falling movement of water on its surface. Winds blowing over open water produce this motion. How this motion produced? With the wind. Strong winds cause larger, higher waves. You can see here in the picture. They can hurl people, boats and ships over long distance and smash them against mountains and other rocky surface in coastal area. And waves cause erosion in the coastal areas. So this is how the waves develop on the sea surface and how it can damage. Sometimes when the winds are blowing too fast, the waves will be too high and very strong. Okay, let's see the tides. You must have heard the names tides also. So what are tides? Tides form because of gravity. Like Earth, Sun and Moon also have the gravity. Like Earth, we have the gravity, Sun also has the gravity, and the Moon also has its own gravity. The Moon is closer to the Earth, so its gravitational pull is stronger than the Sun. You can see when the Moon is full, then the tides become high. Gravity is strongest where the Earth faces the Moon. Therefore, the water rises towards the Moon. This rise is called a high tide. If we have spent a day at the beach in Karachi or on beaches along the Sindh and Balochistan coastline, you must have seen waves of different strength crashing on the land. So have you noticed that the sea behaves differently during different times of the day? Sometimes strong waves come right up to the edge of the beach, and then as the day advances, the water gradually pulls back a long way. This surge and retreat is known as tide. So that the earth has its own gravitational pull, and so do the sun and the moon. The land on the earth is too heavy to move, but water in the ocean is lighter and free flowing. Hence, it responds to this gravity. And the moon is closer to the earth, so its gravitational pull is stronger than that of the sun. Gravity is strongest where the earth faces the moon. Therefore, the water rises towards the moon. This rise is called high tide. And what are the low tides? You can see how calm the ocean or the sea's water here it is. The water level becomes lower as the bulk of water has shifted towards the high tides. This is called low tide. The bulge of water at high tide always faces the moon, while the earth keeps rotating underneath this water. This is how tides happen around the globe. Now you can see in this diagram how the movement of moon creates the high tides. Here, earth is facing the moon here. So here you can see high tides. This is called spring tide. And this one is called leap tide, where the tides are low. Where the moon and earth is making a right angle. Here it is falling in the straight line. On quarter moons, the sun and the moon are at right angles to each other, so they pull the water in different directions. Moon is pulling the water and sun is pulling the water as well. But moon is closer to the earth, so its pull is stronger than the sun. So in different direction affecting each other's force. This result in a low high tide, and it is called a neap tide. Okay, now see this one. At the time of new and full moon, here the full moon and here it is a new moon, because we can't see the full moon here, but over here the moon is full. The sun and the moon are positioned in a straight line. This means their gravity is combined. This results in a very high tide called a spring tide. Children, there is a question also in the homework. You have to write the answer from the video. Now let's see the currents. A current is a steady flow of water in a definite direction. An ocean current refers to the flow of water within the ocean in a particular direction. There are two types of currents: surface currents and the deep sea currents. Surface currents are caused by winds and flow horizontally. They are usually less than 100 meters deep. Okay, this surface currents is only develops in the surface of the ocean. Then the deep sea currents are caused by temperature changes and variations in the saltiness of the water. Water on or close to the ocean surface is warmer and less salty than the water near the seabed. As you go down in the deep in the sea near the seabed, the water will become colder and more saltier than the surface. Deep sea currents are usually verticals. They move from ocean bed towards the ocean surface, up and down. So that is called deep sea currents. And surface currents are move or flow horizontally in this position. And deep currents are move from down to surface. Ocean floors and seabeds. This is seabed here in these three pictures. Ocean floors and beds are not flat. There are underwater hills and valleys. The hills are called ridges and the valleys are called trenches. Here, this is called trench. You can also find underwater volcanoes in some oceans, for example in the Pacific Ocean. Children, you have learned that Pacific Ocean is deepest ocean and the largest ocean. So there are volcanic mountains also inside the ocean in the seabed. Currents around the subcontinent. Children, in our subcontinent, how the currents are following or moving and how they are helpful to us, or what changes they are putting in our daily life. Around the subcontinent, currents change direction according to the prevailing winds. This is Indian Ocean, and here you can see in summer when the monsoon winds blow from the south, currents move in a clockwise direction, and in the winter the winds blow from the northeast and the currents move anti-clockwise. These movements in oceans and seas are important to us in many ways. Currents regulate the temperature of the surrounding places and create sea and land breezes. Waves and tides facilitate erosions. Tides can also be used to generate electricity through special tidal power plants. So this is how tides are beneficial to in our daily life. This is your homework. You have to give brief introduction of the oceans of the world. You will see this video very carefully, and whatever the information I have given you about the oceans, you will write a brief note about each oceans in your copy. Then what are waves? Describe low tides and high tides. This is also in the book and in the video. Write a short note on spring and leap tide. Draw a diagram also. How do currents move around the subcontinent? This is in the last slide. You can see how the currents around the subcontinent affecting us. You will do all the homework in social studies copy. Thank you very much. See you in the next lesson. Take care.